Would I be the asshole if I gave my grandson a wake-up call? I have 4 adult grandsons, ranging in age from 20-27. 3 are employed, the middle one is not. Bob says that he's trying, but nobody will hire him because he's disabled. His brothers say differently, that he makes no effort to avail himself of the assistance available, just eats and sleeps and plays video games. Thing is, his younger brother has exactly the same disability, but has been employed since he was a senior in high school, first as a work-study intern, now as a part-time employee who expects to go to full-time as soon as his probation term is ended. He has already earned performance bonuses. His father, Jim, is not in the greatest of health and has a family history of early death from heart disease. Jim is taking the best care of his health that he can, and has already surpassed the age that his own father died by several years, but the possibility is always there. My grandson seems to think that he can go on the way that he is indefinitely, that mom and dad will continue to provide for him forever. We have spoken to his parents several times, both when we saw that he was being babied as a child, and again as he became a young adult, that they need to light a fire under his, and insist that he really start looking for work. They agree that yeah, they do, but apparently can't or won't follow through. Would I be the asshole if I told him straight out that his parents aren't going to live forever, and he needs to grow up, start adulting, and start earning his keep? Question. Do you think it will do any good, or are you doing this just to make yourself feel better? Your answer determines ours. Not the asshole. Telling an adult they need to act like an adult is necessary, especially when they are mooching off of their ill parent. But please do it in a calm and respectful manner. Just curious, what is the disability? Edit after Opie's reply. I wish you put that in the post. The way you talked about him, I thought he was just lazy. Clearly his job applications reviews and daily skills are limited to some degree if he's blind. You cannot go, his brother can do it. Why can't he? Because every blind people's experience are different. You may still teach him to bear more adult responsibility. But take consideration of his limitations. WIBTA. No 2 people have the exact same disability, only the same diagnosis. Autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, asthma are just some conditions with wildly different ranges off the top of my head. WIBTA. This is clearly all about making yourself feel better. You don't actually care about lighting a fire. You just want to pass judgment and show that you know best. It is almost impossible to get a job if you are blind, and those people who have them are usually in a field that is working with other blind people. Blind people have been told they can do almost anything, but it is the sighted world who is the problem and won't give us a chance. I have been told that my needs are too much effort. It sucks, but that is the real world. Oh yeah, WIBTA. You say he and his brother have the same disability, but disability is not objective. 2 people can have the same condition, but different kinds of disabilities. Also, he's blind? That's a pretty big thing to leave out. You sound like you don't want to know why he isn't applying himself, and just want an excuse to pass judgment and feel like the bigger person. Best of luck. Am I the asshole for not telling my friend about my dog dying? I, 28 female, have been friends with my friend, 28 female, let's call her Abby, since middle school. Abby recently had a baby 10 months ago. About a month ago, I was talking to Abby about some work drama, and she was giving short responses. I asked if everything was okay, and she kinda snapped on me and told me how hard it's been with the baby, and how she doesn't have time for this, and from now on, to only talk to her about something worthy of her time. I totally get she's in deep being a mama, and she's rocking it. But I'm a highly sensitive person, and I honestly took a big offense to it. In turn, I stopped talking about myself and my life completely. I started only talking to her about her, the baby, her family, topics pertaining to her. It didn't feel like she caught on too much, as she hasn't asked me anything about myself since then. A week ago, my dog Woody died. She absolutely loved Woody, but I didn't tell her about him passing. She texted me 2 days ago asking me why I didn't tell her. She found out through another friend. And I told her I figured she was too busy with the baby, and that I wasn't sure if she had time to talk about it. She exploded. She told me that obviously something like this would be something she would want to know about, and that I was being petty, and it was fucked up of me to take what she said this far. I kinda see where she's coming from, but honestly don't think I did anything wrong. And I certainly don't think she should be getting angry with me over not telling her. Oh, you are absolutely not the asshole. If she says anything else about it, tell her, look, you said you didn't have time for my stuff, and I can't read your mind to know what's worthy of your time. So she wants you to talk to her, but only when you reach out to her, it's convenient for her, and only about topics she wants to hear about? This isn't about her being a new mom. Your friendship may have run its course. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Kudos to you for trying to give your new mama friend grace, but she honestly sounds like not a great friend. Apparently, you have had several conversations with her where she has shown no interest in you or your life. Why continue conversing with her? Tell her that she told you in no uncertain terms that she was not interested in your life, only in hers, and that you and she haven't talked about you at all in ages because of that. It was fucked up of me to take what she said this far. There seems to be some awareness about how fucked up her comment to you was. She should be apologizing to you for being so self-centered that you would not feel comfortable telling her about Woody. It's a big change and a big deal to have a baby, but if she wants you as a friend, she needs to be more caring about you. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your friend is far from the only person to be extremely busy with a baby. She was rude to you and was clearly shocked she wasn't in the loop when you lost your beloved pet. Instead of comforting you, she made it all about her. Boo. Am I the asshole for not waiting longer for my brother-in-law and SIL, causing drama in the family? My husband working abroad, and I have been married for 7 years and had a baby in 2024. Background. SIL lives with my MIL along with her 2 kids, 14F, 7M. Her husband, my BIL, works abroad and hadn't come home in the last 1.5 years, so he hadn't met our baby yet. We live in different cities, about a 3+ HR drive apart. BIL's family home is just 30 minutes from mine. BIL returned from abroad and stayed at his home near me, then went to MIL's after a week. No visit or call about meeting the baby at that time. On August 30th, I had a reception near my husband's hometown. My cousin recently had a baby and my uncle, just back from surgery, was nearby. Since I recently returned to work post-maternity, and with a small baby, I decided to make all the visits in one trip. I informed MIL in advance that I'd stop by but wouldn't stay long. Traffic was heavy due to the upcoming holiday. After finishing some visits, I reached MIL's around 5 p.m. She said SIL and family had gone to buy food for me, that I told her it wasn't necessary as I'd eaten at the reception 2 hours ago. I called BIL, who said they were at a shop 10 minutes away. I asked them to return soon. After multiple calls and 30 minutes of waiting, they still hadn't returned. I suggested we meet near the shop, which was on my route back. We met briefly on the roadside, just SIL and the kids came out, not BIL. I said we'd meet properly next time and left. 2 days later, my hus started acting cold. When I asked what was wrong, he said he couldn't believe how inhumane I had been and needed time away. He wouldn't explain further. I was exhausted with a clingy, feverish baby and work stress, so I didn't push further. During the holidays he stayed NC, that didn't even check on the baby. After 3 weeks, I called MIL, suspecting she was involved. I mentioned the lack of child support during this time, and said if he wanted to cut ties with me, fine, but the baby deserves better. 2 days later, MIL initiated a group call, asking my hus to forgive me. I said I wasn't asking for forgiveness. I still didn't know what I'd supposedly done wrong. MIL then said it was rude of me to meet BIL/SIL outside, and not wait 5 more minutes. I reminded her I waited 30 minutes, had other visits and a long night drive ahead. We reached home at 11 p.m., with no mail company. I clearly communicated I will just drop by. Also, when brother-in-law stayed in my town, before and after this, he didn't attempt to visit. MIL said he won't visit now as his ego was hurt. They had bought a baby dress, but now won't give it. I said if their ego matters more than the baby, I'm fine keeping distance. Later, my husband accused me of long-term disrespect toward his family. I didn't hear when SIL asked me something in a loud room. I declined raw fruit from niece politely. I put tea on the table instead of handing hot cups directly. We're talking now, mostly because of the baby, but the atmosphere is tense. I keep second-guessing myself. Am I the asshole for how I handled the visit and not waiting longer? Not the asshole. You warned them you couldn't stay long, you waited plenty, and they still didn't bother to show up on time. Their reaction is way bigger than the situation, and it feels like they're using this to dump old frustrations on you. You didn't do anything wrong. Not the asshole, but it sounds like you have a terrible husband, and I'm sorry for the lack of emotional support. Are you and your husband separating? If so, you need to contact a lawyer and formally work out child support in custody. Stop chasing his relatives. They are his to deal with. If he wants them to know the baby, then he must be present, and do so on his time. Sorry you are surrounded by assholes. Focus on the baby, finding a groove at work, and making a nice holiday. Remember to take care of yourself. You're important. And so is your time. Not the asshole. Opie, you're the ass if you stay in this family. No one respects nor cares for you. That includes your husband. Personally, if they have very little contact, take it as a gift. You don't need people like this in your life. Your child would be best surrounded by loving, respectful people, not your husband nor in-laws. Please think of your self-worth and your baby. I would protect my child from their toxicity, then think it's best to have family like this. Not the asshole. But what country/culture are you from? It sounds like there may be some cultural issues here. As an American, the things you are saying blow my mind and don't quite get. No, you're not TA. They are. 1000% not the asshole. You have a husband problem, though. One who only believes one side of the story, but not yours. Am I the asshole for not caring about my husband's favorite show? My husband watches a very, very popular, long-running TV show with a huge fandom. I'm not going to get into what show because it truly doesn't matter. I really don't have any interest in the show. I'm not a huge TV person. It's a genre I don't enjoy, and it's been on so long it would take me months, maybe years, to work enough time into my schedule to watch it in its entirety. I have told my husband explicitly several times I don't enjoy this show enough to watch it. But my uninterest is always an issue with my husband. I don't care if he watches it. I've literally bought him the show's merch as gifts. I will scroll on my phone or read if he turns it on. He will often get my attention and have me watch portions of the show and explain the lore. My response to these tidbits of info is never enthusiastic enough for him. Even when I remember details he's told me, if I get one thing even slightly wrong, he gets frustrated and offended. Never outright mean or angry, but I often get, "Never mind then if you're not going to care," in a huffy voice. That's the thing though. I don't care. It's gotten to the point I don't want to be in the room when he's watching it because I can't pretend to care enough. That sounds harsh, but it is literally just this one show. We have several shows we watch together. Several he watches that I don't mind paying attention to. I just don't like this show, and I don't have enough brain power to commit significant other many details about a show I don't like to memory. I can't tell if I'm being an asshole by not putting in more effort for something he obviously really enjoys, or if he's being an asshole for continuing to push this on me after I've shown my clear dislike for it. Editing to address the most popular comments. First of all, we've been together 12.5 years and married for 10. Those telling me to leave the room while he is watching. I do. He will stop me or call me back into the room to have me watch the show. I can be in the kitchen, headphones in, listening to a podcast, cleaning or doing whatever, and he will interrupt me. What prompted this post was him stopping me to watch a 5-minute clip while I was actively going to do another activity. My hands were full of the things I needed for my activity as I was about to leave the room. I had to stop and sit down to watch. He got upset when I stopped looking at the screen for 5 seconds while I got all my various items settled as I sat. Because you have to watch to understand what I'm talking about, those saying I am not showing enough interests in his interests. I do not watch TV. He does. It's his way to relax and decompress. I didn't grow up watching a lot of TV and never really grew to enjoy it much. I can count how many shows I would choose to watch by myself on one hand. But every night we spend an hour to an hour and a half watching TV together. He picks the shows. If we never did it again, I would miss the time spent with him, but not the TV shows. I am a reader and a podcast listener. He doesn't listen to my podcasts or read books with me. He supports my hobbies by getting me nice headphones and a Kindle, but doesn't participate in it otherwise. That is enough for me. I feel like I am making an active decision to participate in his interests, but because I can't enjoy this show, it's not enough. The much awaited for detail, the show is One Piece. He's been a watcher long before we got together. No shame to those who love it. I just can't shove 25 plus years and over 1,000 episodes of details and story into my brain. I know those details matter to the show and I can't hang. It's okay, you can say One Piece, we'll understand. Tell him you want to start Grey's Anatomy and should enjoy 22 seasons together with random pop quizzes. Not the asshole. I'm interested in a lot of stuff my wife couldn't GAF about, and vice versa. It's okay to be different people. Marriage doesn't mean sacrificing your own personality for the couple. Not the asshole. It sounds like you're a lot more tolerant of his obsession than he is of your disinterest. Not the asshole, you have every right to dislike something your significant other enjoys. I'm personally not interested in watching soccer and anime that my boyfriend loves. He is not interested in my true crime docs and horror movies. We don't force each other into watching something we both won't enjoy. Does he not have any friends? It's exhausting being your spouse's only friend. Insist that he socialize with another human being. You can't share 100% the same interests all the time. Not the asshole. It's 100% normal that a spouse might not care about your show and leave your spouse alone about it.